I never thought I'd see the day when a grown woman, someone elected to lead a quiet suburban HOA, would try to block a pregnant woman from getting out of her own car. But that morning, right in front of my driveway, I watched a fully grown adult in a neon vest with a clipboard like she owned the planet, spread her arms like an airport gate agent having a meltdown, and scream that my wife had no right to be dropped off in front of our house. And when she tried to shove past me to get to my wife, that was the moment I realized things were about to explode. My name's Ethan, and this is the story of how the most entitled HOA president in Maple Ridge nearly pushed me to the edge. A story about frustration, doubt, fear, and finally standing up after being knocked flat emotionally. And if you've never seen an HOA Karen unravel in real time, buckle up. You're about to. That morning was supposed to be simple. I'd taken my wife Lily, 8 months pregnant, to a prenatal appointment, and she just wanted to get home, lie down, and breathe like a normal human. The Florida heat was unforgiving, her ankles were swollen, and I was exhausted from working a late shift the night before. But we made it home, turned into our subdivision, and headed toward our house on Willowcrest Lane. And that's when I saw her, Barbara Collins, the newly elected HOA president, standing dead center in the road, neon vest, clipboard, oversized sunglasses she didn't need, the kind of stance that told you she once got a temporary badge at an airport and never forgot the rush. She glared at us like we were intruders, sneaking over the border into her personal kingdom. I slowed down, rolled my window down halfway, and gave what I thought was a friendly, neighborly nod. "Morning, Barbara." She didn't nod back, didn't blink, didn't move. Instead, she pointed her pen at my windshield like she was issuing a traffic citation. "You can't enter this lane." Her tone dripped with authority she absolutely did not have. "This is restricted for compliant residents only." I blinked. "I live here." "That remains to be verified." Before I could even process that sentence, Lily gently squeezed my arm. She looked pale and tired. She whispered, "Ethan, I just want to go inside." I nodded. "Barbara, Lily's 8 months pregnant. I'm not circling the block because you're standing in the street. We're going home." Barbara's nostrils flared so hard I thought her sunglasses might fog up. She marched closer, heels clacking on the pavement like intimidation tap shoes. "Pregnancy," she declared loudly, "does not grant special privileges." Privileges? We're talking about letting my exhausted wife step out near the front door, not boarding a private jet. I kept my voice steady. "She just needs to get inside. Please move." "No." Barbara lifted her clipboard like a medieval shield. "There is a new regulation. Overnight parking changes, driveway access changes, temporary stopping rules. Everything is under review." Under review is HOA speak for I made something up 30 seconds ago. I said I never got any notice. "You did," she snapped. "Check your spam." She hadn't sent anything. We all knew that. I eased the car forward a tiny bit. Not enough to touch her, just enough to suggest we needed to pass. She didn't budge. She planted herself tighter in front of my bumper. "You will reverse," she ordered, "or this will be reported as an act of aggression." Aggression. I hadn't even raised my voice. Inside the car, Lily breathed shallowly, her hand on her belly. She whispered, "Ethan, I feel lightheaded." And that's when something in me cracked. Not anger, fear. The fear that no matter what I said or did, this woman thought she had absolute power over us. I pulled the car over as far as I could to the right and got out. Barbara immediately whipped out her phone, pointing it at me. "Everything is being recorded for the HOA security file," she warned. I forced a calm tone. "Barbara, my wife needs to get inside. Move." "No," she repeated, stepping closer. "You're violating the updated property access provision." "There is no updated provision." She jabbed her clipboard in my direction. "There is when I say there is." That's when I realized she wasn't following the rules, she thought she was the rules. I opened the passenger door for Lily. The second my wife put one foot on the ground, Barbara lunged forward like she was intercepting a runner at home plate. "You are not allowed to exit here." Lily froze, gripping the door, her face full of discomfort and fear. Back inside the vehicle, Barbara ordered, "Barbara." I stepped between them, my voice shaking. "Get away from my wife." But Barbara had already reached into her vest and pulled out a pen and bright pink violation slip like she was drawing a weapon. For non-compliance, I swear my world blurred into a mix of anger, disbelief, and humiliation. all while Lily leaned against me, sweat beading on her forehead. Neighbors walking their dogs slowed down. People peeked out their windows. Someone's Ring camera began recording. It felt like the whole street was watching me fail at something as simple as getting my wife home safely. The HOA's community security cart buzzed around the corner. Barbara waved it over like she was directing air traffic. There she shouted, "Document this. A resident refusing to follow access regulations." The guard, poor teenage kid, barely 18, looked confused. "Ma'am, I didn't get any notice about a rule change." Barbara snapped. "Because it's new, effective immediately. I don't need approval. I am the approval." I felt my stomach drop. Was she right? Could she make rules on the spot? Had I missed something in the bylaws? For a split second I hated myself for it. I wondered if I really might be in the wrong. If I was dragging Lily into trouble. If maybe I should just back up, circle the block, do whatever Barbara demanded just to avoid escalation. The doubt hit me hard. It made my chest tight. I looked at Lily, at her trembling legs, at how she pressed her hand against her lower back in pain. And I felt like a failure. "What if she's right?" I muttered under my breath. "What if I'm making this worse?" Lily whispered, "You're not. You're doing your best." But doubt is loud. And at that moment Barbara's voice was louder. "Write him up," she barked at the guard. "He's violating community safety, and his wife is pretending discomfort to manipulate the rules." That snapped something in me. Before I could respond, a voice cut through the chaos. "Barbara, enough." We all turned. Olivia Carter, former HOA board member, the only one who ever dared stand up to Barbara. She marched across the sidewalk with her phone raised. "I've been filming," she said. "And you're lying." Again. Barbara scoffed. "Stay out of this, Olivia." But Olivia wasn't backing down. "You claimed there was a new driveway rule. Show it. Show the approved vote. Show the paperwork. Show anything that proves you didn't just invent this on your morning power trip." The guard and neighbors turned toward Barbara expectantly. Barbara's face went stiff like someone pulled a plug. There is paperwork," she said, voice cracking. "No." Olivia corrected, pulling up an email on her phone. "There's a draft you wrote at 2 a.m. titled Rule Ideas. It was never approved, and according to the bylaws, you can't enforce unapproved regulations." "I swear even the birds paused their chirping," Barbara stuttered. I have the authority." "You don't," Olivia said. "You never did. And you especially don't have the right to block a pregnant woman from stepping out of a car. What is wrong with you?" For the first time all morning, Barbara faltered. Her confidence cracked. She looked around and realized no one was backing her up. The guard lowered his notepad. Ma'am, I'm not comfortable doing a write-up anymore." Neighbors started whispering. "Is she serious? She's lost it. She tried to stop a pregnant woman." I straightened up, feeling something shift in me. The doubt evaporated. My voice came back. "Barbara," I said quietly, "move, now." She didn't. Instead, she grabbed her radio and pressed the button so hard it squealed. "I want full enforcement here. Someone get down to Willowcrest immediately. I'm ordering a tow for this driveway obstruction." "Obstruction," I yelled. "I'm parked in my own driveway." "Not officially," she snapped, pushing forward. "Not until the HOA reviews your compliance record." She took a step toward Lily, and I stepped forward, blocking her with my whole body. "Touch my wife," I said, my voice low and steady, "and I swear I will file every report, every complaint, every legal action available. You're done bullying people." Barbara's mouth opened to retort, but another voice cut in. "Actually, she is done." We turned. It was David King, the HOA vice president, walking briskly toward us with a folder in hand. He looked exhausted, angry, determined. "Barbara," he said, "you have officially been suspended from your position as HOA president, effective immediately." Barbara's jaw dropped. "What? Why you can't do that?" "Oh, we can," David replied, "because after multiple reports, video submissions, and an emergency board meeting this morning, you've been found in violation of 5 bylaws, including misuse of authority harassment, falsifying enforcement notices, and instigating confrontations with residents." She looked like someone pulled the earth out from under her feet. "That's ridiculous," she shrieked. "They're all lying. I'm trying to protect this community." David didn't flinch. "You blocked a pregnant woman from getting out of a car, Barbara." Gasps from the crowd. Even the guard stepped back. Barbara stammered, I didn't. She was exaggerating." Lily let out a small, shaky breath. I put my hand on her back. David continued, You are to step away from this driveway, leave this street immediately, and cease all involvement in HOA activity until further notice. Any attempt to intervene will result in legal action." The silence was delicious. Barbara's face turned beet red, then purple, then some new shade of fury nobody had seen before. She pointed wildly around her. "This isn't over. I will appeal. I will sue every one of you." Nobody responded. Nobody cared. Her power, imagined or not, was gone. She tried to bark another order, but the words died in her throat. Instead, she backed up, clutching her clipboard against her chest like it was all she had left. She stumbled once on the curb, caught herself, and stormed away down the sidewalk while the guard quietly turned the security card around to avoid following her. And just like that, she was done. No cheers, no applause, just the heavy quiet of a street finally exhaling. I turned to Lily, and she leaned on me, softly exhausted but relieved. I didn't say anything for a long moment. I just held her hand, feeling my heartbeat slow back to something human. Then I whispered, "We weren't wrong. We just crossed the wrong person's ego." And in that moment, after everything was stripped away, the shouting, the fear, the humiliation, I finally understood the lesson this whole mess had carved into me. Some people don't have power. They just abuse the space where nobody stops them. That's the story.